Have you ever met someone and felt it instantly? A cosmic collision, a deep recognition that defies all logic, as if the universe itself conspired to place them in your path. But is this feeling real, or just a romantic illusion? The legendary psychologist Carl Jung taught that these are not coincidences. What you call fate is actually your unconscious mind screaming a truth you can't yet hear. In this video, we are going to give you the key to decipher that coded message. We will unlock the Jungian secrets to know if this person is your soulmate or just a reflection of your own unhealed wounds. This is the kind of deep, transformative knowledge we explore here. A huge number of you who find these truths are watching without being subscribed. If you are ready to stop guessing and start understanding the mysteries of your own soul, do two things for us right now. Hit the like button to support our work, and subscribe and click the bell so you never miss a video that could give you this clarity. And now, for something special. In the comments, please tell us which city or country you're watching from. We love to see how far the teachings of Carl Jung can help. After that, write the single word, destiny, to affirm your journey with us. Carl Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." That one sentence is the foundation of this video, because that powerful connection you feel, it's not random. It's your unconscious mind recognizing something, someone it already knows. The mystery of soulmates isn't found in logic, but in recognizing the signals the psyche sends when something or someone is aligned with your journey. Jung's idea of the collective unconscious suggests that within us exists a timeless library of symbols, instincts, and truths that we all share. And when two people connect at that level, it's as if two ancient rivers converge. The waters recognize each other before the minds do. The energy between them stirs long-forgotten knowledge. That's the beginning of something sacred. There was a time I kept falling for the same type of person. Distant, elusive, mysterious. I thought it was my type. But then I discovered Jung's concept of anima and animus, the feminine and masculine archetypes projected from our unconscious, and realized I wasn't attracted to people. I was attracted to patterns. My soul was begging to resolve something. Every encounter wasn't a coincidence. It was a reflection. What you resist not only persists, but will grow in size, Jung reminds us. These emotional loops weren't punishments. They were invitations to awaken, to look within, to transform the lens through which I loved. When it's real, you'll feel a pull that defies logic. You won't need to chase, beg, or force. The connection speaks in a language older than words. Jung would call it archetypal resonance. Your soul doesn't fall in love. It remembers. Your soulmate will not be perfect. They will reflect the parts of you that still need healing. They will challenge your ego, your fear, your avoidance. They will invite you into discomfort, but also into truth. As Jung said, there is no coming to consciousness without pain. That pain, if embraced, becomes your doorway. So ask yourself, what is this person awakening in me? Is it obsession, or is it a call to evolve? Soulmate love, in its highest form, is never about possession. It is about liberation. You don't own each other, you free each other. The Carl Jung Code isn't a riddle to solve. It's a journey to walk. Each emotion you feel, each relationship you enter, each dream you ignore or embrace, it all adds up to the way you are being guided. Stop ignoring it. Start listening, because your unconscious is always speaking. Is it just chemistry, luck, or something much deeper, hidden in the concealed layers of our psyche? Jung fervently believed that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. This idea is revolutionary when applied to love. Perhaps this feeling of destiny, of instant recognition, is actually the personal unconscious of each person recognizing in the other a missing piece, a shadow or a light that needs to be integrated for our wholeness. Think about the last time you felt this magnetic and inexplicable attraction. Jung reminds us that the unconscious is not just the repository of the past, but is full of the germs of future psychic situations and ideas. Therefore, this person who seems destined may be representing, on a symbolic level, a future potentiality within yourself, a call to grow, to become more complete. The soulmate, in the Jungian view, is rarely about static comfort. It is often a catalyst for a deep and necessary transformation. To explore this connection is to dive into the territory of archetypes, those primordial images and universal patterns that inhabit the collective unconscious of all humanity. The archetype of the anima, the feminine aspect in a man, and the animus, the masculine aspect in a woman, plays a crucial role here. As Jung put it, the anima is a natural factor that, so to speak, completes the man as a part of his totality. When we meet someone who resonates deeply with our unconscious anima or animus, the feeling of completeness and destiny can be overwhelming, as if we have finally found our lost other half. However, Jung warns us against naive idealization. This powerful projection of the anima or animus can blind us to the reality of the other human being. Projection changes the world into the mirror of one's own unknown self, he warned. The one who seems to be the perfect soulmate may initially be carrying the projections of our own unconscious needs, wounds, and unrealized potentialities. Recognizing this is the first step to transforming a fascinating attraction into a true and conscious relationship. The journey to understand this deep connection is, in essence, a journey of radical self-knowledge. How can we truly recognize the other if we do not know ourselves deeply? Jung was categorical. He who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes. Waking up to the contents of our own unconscious, our shadows, complexes, longings, and activated archetypes, is what allows us to discern between a powerful projection and a genuine, reciprocal connection that can truly sustain the title of soulmate and synchronicity. Those moments of meaningful coincidence that seem to accompany deep encounters or crucial loving decisions. For Jung, synchronicity is an underlying reality that expresses itself in certain events of our lives. It is not cheap magic, but a principle of a causal connection that suggests a deeper order in the universe. When synchronistic events mark the beginning or development of a deep connection, they can be seen as signs from the collective unconscious, indicating that we are on the right path towards our totality, often through the relationship. The Jungian concept of individuation, the process of becoming a unique and integrated individual, conscious of both light and shadow, is central here. Paradoxically, the search for a soulmate can be a powerful path to individuation. Jung observed that the most transformative relationship you will ever have is the relationship with yourself. A truly deep encounter forces the confrontation with parts of ourselves that we were avoiding, accelerating the process of becoming who we really are. The soulmate, in this sense, does not complete us, but challenges and supports us in our own completeness. Therefore, this overwhelming feeling of destiny may be less about finding the one right person in an absolute sense, and more about finding someone whose presence deeply activates our individual and joint psychic process. It is the unconscious communicating through a powerful attraction. As Jung said, the unconscious has a goal and seeks to realize it with the same tenacity with which the plant seeks the sun. The search for deep connection is an expression of this tenacity, of the psychic impulse towards totality and meaning. Jung wrote, "Your visions will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes." So maybe the one you seek is already near. Maybe the soulmate you're trying to find is also trying to find themselves. And the moment you return to your own soul is the moment the universe stops hiding them. This is not a fantasy. This is psychology. This is energy. This is the wisdom Carl Jung gave us, the map to our most sacred connection. When love is truly aligned, it doesn't just excite you, it quiets you. It brings peace to the chaos inside. This is not the kind of love we see in stories that end in heartbreak. This is the kind that repairs what was broken before it even began. That is the soulmate vibration Jung alluded to. The love that brings your psyche home. There is a frequency where the heart no longer begs. It receives. There is a point in your growth where the pain becomes the teacher and not the jailer. The moment you stop clinging to the idea of who you should be with, you create space for who you are truly meant to walk with. This is the shift. This is the awakening. The true soulmate doesn't show up when you're longing. They show up when you're becoming. When you begin to integrate your shadow, the repressed parts of your identity, your field of attraction changes. You no longer seek validation. You seek resonance. You no longer chase pain. You hold space for peace. And in that frequency shift, something strange happens. You meet someone who doesn't trigger your abandonment, but your wholeness. Jung said, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." A soulmate doesn't come to make you feel good. They come to awaken the part of you that's been asleep. Their love isn't always soft, but it's always necessary. The transformation they initiate cannot be undone. And how do you know when it's real? The signs are everywhere, if you're willing to see. A dream that repeats, a name that keeps showing up, a song that follows you, a moment that feels orchestrated. Jung called these synchronicities, meaningful coincidences that reveal alignment between your internal and external worlds. I vividly remember looking at my love history and feeling a chill down my spine. It was an inescapable pattern. I always attracted the same type of person, charismatic, a bit distant, emotionally challenging, and it always ended with the same bitter taste of disappointment and confusion. Why, even when conscious of the pattern, did I repeat the cycle? It was this painful questioning that threw me into the arms of Carl Jung's analytical psychology, and this journey radically changed my understanding of love and myself. Jung captured this trap perfectly. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. I saw myself stuck in a familiar but deeply unsatisfying dance, until I realized it wasn't just bad luck or poor choice. Something inside me was orchestrating these attractions. Jung teaches that the personal unconscious is the abode of personal demons, of complexes, of repressed contents. My demons, my unresolved complexes, perhaps related to a fear of abandonment or an unmet need for validation, were unconsciously leading me to choose partners who, as if by a hidden script, would reenact my deepest wounds. Diving into Jung was like turning on a light in a forgotten basement of my psyche. The theory of projection was a punch to the gut. We project onto others precisely the qualities we do not want to recognize in ourselves, he wrote. That distant and challenging person I attracted. She was reflecting back to me my own difficulty in connecting deeply, my own shadow of fear, of vulnerability. I was unconsciously trying to resolve my internal conflicts through the other, an impossible mission doomed to fail. It was then that I encountered the transformative concept of the shadow. Jung defined the shadow as that hidden, repressed, inferior, and poorly developed personality in us, everything we are not aware of. My repetitive love pattern was a clear sign. My shadow was in command. The qualities I denied or repressed in myself, like passive aggression or a need for control, were being projected, and I was attracted to people who expressed them openly, in a desperate attempt by the unconscious to make me confront these rejected parts. Understanding my animus, the inner masculine aspect, was another shocking revelation. Jung believed that the animus is the repository of the logos, of the word, of opinion, and often manifests in authority figures or in the men who fascinate a woman. My pattern pointed to a wounded or distorted animus, perhaps idealizing, unattainable or rebellious figures, reflecting my own conflicting relationship with power and internal authority. I was not just choosing partners, I was unconsciously seeking an archetypal image that needed to be healed and integrated within me. The journey to break the cycle began with the courage to look inward. Jung was incisive. Your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. He who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes. Waking up meant facing my shadow, my complexes, my projections. It meant asking, what is this repetitive attraction trying to teach me about me? Instead of blaming the other, I began to investigate my own unconscious contribution to the pattern. The work of integration was arduous. Recognizing the projection is one thing. Withdrawing it and taking responsibility for the projected quality is another thing entirely. Jung knew that we do not heal from the past, we heal the future. We transform the future by modifying the present. Every time I felt the old attraction to the familiar type, I would stop. I would ask myself, what aspect of me am I seeing in this person? What wound or unconscious need is being activated? This moment of conscious pause began to break the automatism. As I integrated parts of my shadow and healed the relationship with my animus, something miraculous began to happen. My choices changed. It was not magic, it was consciousness. As Jung put it, that which you resist persists, but what you face dissolves. By facing my own unconscious dynamics, the spell of the repetitive pattern began to dissolve. I started to be attracted to different people, not because the universe sent them, but because I had changed internally. This does not mean I found the soulmate instantly. It means I stopped unconsciously seeking someone to complete my missing parts or heal my wounds. I began to understand that a healthy relationship is between two relatively whole people, not two halves, seeking completeness. Jung echoes this. The most transformative relationship you will ever have is the relationship with yourself. The search for a soulmate, I understood, begins with internal reconciliation. Today, I see my search for love in a completely new light. My journey through Jungian psychology taught me that repetitive patterns are not condemnations, but codes from the unconscious, asking to be deciphered. As Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Breaking the love cycle was freeing myself from an unconscious fate and taking the reins of my own love story, starting with the most important relationship, the one with myself. That is the real key. The universe speaks symbolically. So does your unconscious. And when both start speaking at the same time, something big is about to unfold. Maybe you keep thinking of someone you haven't seen in years, and suddenly they reappear. Maybe you see their birthday, their name, their initials. These are not accidents. These are signals. Love, in the Jungian sense, is not simply romantic. It is alchemical. It changes you at a molecular level. A soulmate is not a person you find. It is an inner experience awakened by a person. And the soul will always recognize what the eyes cannot. Your soulmate is not found by strategy. They are drawn in by resonance. When your inner world changes, your outer world realigns. And this shift is spiritual, energetic, a mirror of your readiness. Carl Jung believed that the psyche's ultimate goal is wholeness. That's why relationships are not just emotional, they're transformational. Each one brings us closer to integration, closer to a version of ourselves that is not fragmented but whole. And sometimes the soulmate appears after the storm, after the ego dies, after the patterns are broken. Their arrival is not the beginning of the healing, it's the confirmation that it's already begun. So if you're wondering why they haven't arrived yet, ask yourself, what version of me are they destined to meet? Would they recognize me right now, or is there still a layer I must shed? The moment you choose to evolve, the moment you stop settling for cycles disguised as love, the universe takes notice. It rearranges things. It moves people. It makes paths cross in ways that make no sense, but feel right. This code, therefore, is not about finding the perfect one created by your fantasy. It is about finding someone whose own journey of individuation resonates deeply with yours, creating a relational field where both can grow and transform. Jung captured this alchemy. The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. The soulmate, in the deepest Jungian sense, is a catalytic partner in this mutual and continuous transformation. You now hold the map. You have been given the keys to the Jung Code, the power to stop letting unconscious patterns dictate your fate and to consciously take control of your love destiny. As Jung warned, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. To begin this journey, we invite you to make a powerful declaration. Go to the comments and write the words, I am the guide. Let this be your first conscious step in using this code. If this video has unlocked something for you, give it a like to help others find this path. An incredible number of you who are on this journey of awakening are watching without being subscribed. If you are ready to continue deciphering the mysteries of the psyche and transform your life, subscribe now and activate the bell. This journey of radical self-knowledge is just beginning, and you won't want to miss what we uncover next. Remember, the Jung Code doesn't just lead you to your soulmate, it transforms you into the partner ready to receive them. The power is now in your hands. Thank you for being here and for having the courage to look within